This one thing saved my entire 7-figure business. I was so close to being forced to turn off all my ads and give completely up on my brand because my cost of goods were rising, my cost per acquisition was rising, and almost in the blink of an eye, I was being unprofitable. I went from doing 5K plus a day, super profitable, to almost being unprofitable. But then I got in contact with a supplier who managed to save everything. So let's go back to the beginning. Basically, I found a super massive dropshipping winner back in January of 2023. And basically for the first few months, I scaled it with no issues whatsoever. ROAS was insanely high all the time. I've made a completely breakdown video of it, which you can watch on my channel. But basically, long story short, everything was super profitable. I was just scaling from January to April. And from April to June, basically ad fatigue hit and everything crashed. I had to test like a few hundred creatives to get back on top and get the ROAS back in order. When I finally got that back in order, this is the thing I've never told about before. I've never told this story. I faced another massive issue. And this is probably the biggest issue I faced, like almost bigger than the ad fatigue hit. Even though I was getting my creatives back in order, my cost per acquisition or cost per purchase was always increasing. Just because I was selling so many products all the time, I was getting so many sales, and when you get to a higher scale, it's normal that your cost per purchase will increase, even though you test a lot of creatives, so you can kind of balance it out. But the CPC also was increasing a lot because the market was just getting more competitive in general. There was new competitors each week that I had to really fight off because they were trying to enter the market, and also the summer period usually is not the greatest for ecom and not this product as well. But one thing that could really crush everything at this point, because at this point I was running kind of stable, there was not room for error at this point, and everything just had to go great, otherwise it would be really bad. You see, I had been working with the same supplier ever since I had 0 orders all the way up to, you know, a few hundred orders a day. And basically this guy, he's a private agent in China. He is really good when you don't have a lot of orders, but when you start to scale up, he gets increasingly worse, and I was not aware of this. I didn't think of changing the supplier because you know what you have, but you don't know what you can get. So it's kind of, you know, scary to change your supplier because it's a very big fundamental thing of your business. But basically, I had tried negotiating prices with him so many times, and he had told me no always, even though I was increasing my sales like monthly from 0 to like 300-400 orders a day. He was not still, he didn't want to increase anything, like decrease the prices or anything. When I asked him the last time, I think this was around July, something like that, where things were kind of okay, but not okay. He actually said that he wanted to increase the prices, and that if he had increased the prices just by little, I probably would have to turn off the ads. The profit margin would be so low that it didn't make sense to keep the product running on that scale it was on. And I was still relatively new to the game. I think I had done maybe 500,000 at this point revenue, and I know that's not new, but in the grand scheme of things, that's still pretty new to the game. Like, you don't know a lot when you've done that. That's crazy to say, but you actually don't. So I had no idea what metrics to look for. One day I was in a call in Michael Bernstein's coaching, in his mentorship. There was a group call with a guy called Blanco, and he was talking with some other guy about break-even ROAS and break-even points. And he basically said that when you are on a super high scale, 2.3, 2.5 ROAS is actually a great ROAS. And I was averaging around 2.8, and I couldn't make it make sense that it was great for other people to be lower ROAS, because I could see my profit margin, and I would say, like, if they were lower ROAS, there would be really bad profit margin. It didn't make sense. I pretty much showed him it, and also showed it to Michael, and they were like, yeah, your cost of goods is way too high. Like, this is fucked. Your break-even point is like 2. Like 1.9 something ROAS, that's way too high. Like, you cannot survive on this on a high scale. The only reason why I was surviving was because I was testing so many creatives. So I was like keeping everything in control. That's not manageable on like a high scale, super high scale, like 5-10K a day. Like, you can't have that. I had to find a new supplier, and I had to find it fast, because if my current supplier wanted to increase prices, I would be screwed. Like, I would be fucked. So basically, I texted all suppliers you could ever think of when you search Google for dropshipping supplier. Like, all the YouTube videos you've seen, everybody who talked about supplier, I contacted. Every single one, everyone I could ever find the number on or the contact details on, I contacted. And surprisingly, they were cheaper. I didn't think it could be cheaper. Like, I don't know why I thought I couldn't find them cheaper, because my current agent was telling me no. Then I had this idea, okay, then no, there's no other cheaper alternatives. Turns out there was, and they were a lot cheaper. So basically, I found USA Drop. I think I found them through like an ad or something like that. I got in contact with them. I got in contact with an agent called Judy. super nice, and I got a quote, and it was really cheap. Like, I think I saved on average per order, like 40%, around 40%, which is massive. Like it made me go from being okay profitable to super profitable. Like it was insanely profitable. They provided me with this amazing quote, and even better, like this is the crazy thing, even they were both cheaper than my current supplier. They had better shipping times, they had better processing times, and they had better after sales service. So if something happened with an order, or basically if it didn't get delivered, or they got the wrong product, or something else had happened, they would basically just ship a new one out, no questions asked, almost all the time. Absolutely insane that everything just got better. Basically they saved my entire business. They also got my chargeback percents down. Everything just improved after switching. So after this, after changing to USA Drop, after getting my cost of goods down, I could scale so much more easily. I could test less creatives because my break-even point increased by a lot. So the next month, I think we made almost $100,000 more than the last month, with over 5% more profit margin. Like I went from doing 16%, 17% to above 20 just by changing the supplier, which is massive. Like that's insane. For you guys who does Facebook knows how insane that is. Like that's a massive increase. You don't just do that. That doesn't come out of nothing. Like that's insanity. So basically that happened. I have now done multiple 7 figures with this product. We are close to, I think we're getting close to like 3 million now with this one product, just because we changed our suppliers. This is not sponsored, by the way. This is just my experience with USA Drop and how they saved me. So generally, I would say USA Drop is a great supplier, but you need to be aware of that when you are on the lower scale and just starting out, the service you will get from all these agents will not be the same as I'm getting, because I have a lot more orders. Just keep that in mind. They are still great for beginners starting out. Perfectly fine. You will still have really good quotes and great after sales service. But as your order volume increases, your service level will also increase. So just keep that in mind. Let me know if you want a tutorial on how to set USA Drop's services up. Really easy and quickly, and they will also provide a tutorial. But if you want me to show you how to do it, so you know you do it the correct way and there's no issues, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to do it. And in general, keep in mind that suppliers in the beginning, if you're starting out, is not the most important thing. It doesn't matter too much who you pick. Pick one, go with that. You don't have to get multiple quotes, because the only point where changing your supply can make a difference is when you're scaling your product, or starting to get sales, but it's not like it's break even, or it's a little bit unprofitable. Trying to negotiate prices or finding a different supplier can make a difference, but you don't have to overthink it. Like if you don't have any sales, you don't even have a store yet, don't think about getting like some supplier. Like it doesn't matter for you. Pick USA Drop, pick somebody else, it doesn't matter. Just know that you have a supplier that works, and that's it. Do not overthink it. That's pretty much the video here. I hope you enjoyed the little story on how USA Drop saved me. If you want a follow-up video on how to use USA Drop, please let me know. Anything else, please let me know. Also shoot me a DM on Instagram if there's any questions. I wish you the best and good luck in all your journeys.